Let's try this again. Hello, Adrian, the arm warrior. How are you doing? Just waiting to see if more people will show up. Yeah, I don't know what happened the first time. The I was having some technical problems the first time. This is my first time doing a live stream, so yeah, I'm just waiting for a few more people to show up before we get started. This is a late start, but Right. Well, let me try something. Let's try it again. Hmm. Seems like you're the only person here so far. I'm just waiting to see if anyone else will show up. I mean, you'd think with over 4,900 subs, I would get at least a couple people on here, or at least like maybe I don't know 10, 20. I don't know how many. Hmm. I mean, I guess I could go and get started since I have at least one person viewing from the way it looks. So yeah, basically, this is the beginning of a new. Well, okay. Let me. Sorry. Let me start that over again. So yeah. Basically, this is the first time I'm doing a live stream, so I might have to edit this video when I do fully upload it onto YouTube later. But yes, I figured since it has been a long time since I've done a Blu-ray collection video, but the problem though is that my collection has grown so much over the years that I think it would take a little bit too much time to show the whole thing. I think we'd be here all day. So instead we're going to do this in parts where I show, just by individual, because I have my collection in sections. So I figured for today, for part one, I will show you all what I call my animation station. It's the shelf that I have right over here that houses every single animated Blu-ray and Blu-ray that I own, movies and shows. I do have animation DVDs, but that's in another shelf. So we'll do that another time. So I guess we'll go and get started since I don't know. I only have one person showing, so yeah, this already isn't turning out to be a great stream so far between the technical difficulties and other things. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first up, I'll show you what I have for the Disney Animation Studios collection. For starters, we have Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, of course, the one that started it all. Where would Disney be without this? With this timeless classic, without that timeless classic, sorry. Of course, we got Pinocchio next, another classic. Fantasia, which, as many know, is my favorite Disney film and just one of my favorite movies of all time. And Fantasia 2000 is a pretty solid sequel, not as good as the first, but still good. We got Dumbo, just a charming little film, not perfect, but still. Bambi, another little film that has a lot of charm and has aged really well. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Now, you probably noticed I've skipped a few Disney films, the package films being Saludos Amigos, The Three Caballeros, Make My Music, Fun and Fancy Free, and Melody Time. And that's because I haven't gotten around getting those Blu-rays yet. I think they're out of print because the Disney exclusive club, they shut down and now their Blu-rays are hard to find. As for Fun and Fancy Free, the only one you can get in that Blu-ray is the double feature with Ichabod and Mr. Toad, but that's out of print as well. So yeah, I'll probably get them someday. Then we got Cinderella. I don't know why a lot of people don't like this film nowadays. They always criticize Cindy for some reason, so who knows. Alice in Wonderland, very trippy, but it's a very beloved classic. Peter Pan, another fun film from my childhood. Lady and the Tramp, um, probably my least favorite of the 50s of Disney animated films, but still pretty good overall. Then we got Sleeping Beauty, another probably my favorite of the 50s Disney films. I already talked about a film in my favorite films in 1959. Let's see. We got 101 Dalmatians, another beloved classic. We got The Sword and the Stone, which is James Rolfe's favorite Disney film, and I can understand why. For me, this one I think is just okay. We got The Jungle Book. I think this was the first Disney film I ever saw as a kid, or at least it was the first one my parents showed me. But yeah, also Walt's last film before his passing. The Aristocats. I don't get why people call this the worst Disney film. I mean, sure, it's not one of their better ones, but to say that it's up there with like Chicken Little or Home on the Range as one of Disney's worst animated films, I think is a bit of a stretch. Let's see. Hey, Adrian. Yeah, honestly, it is kind of a shame we never got a. I mean, with Disney's obsession with sequels, you think they would have made a sequel to Alice in Wonderland, but I guess they never did. Of course, they would with the live action films, but you know. But yeah. Robin Hood, another beloved classic. Wonder if Disney will ever remake this. A live action Robin Hood with furries, I guess. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, a very beloved classic. You're going to hear me say that a lot because a lot of these, I grew up with Disney films, so of course I'm going to own the majority of the ones I watched as a child. Yeah. Just reviewing me by, oh, hello. Thanks for another. Yeah, I love Robin Hood too, so yeah. The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under. In my opinion, these are two of the most underrated Disney classics. But yeah, it's a shame that those don't get enough attention. Let's see. Sorry. The Fox and the Hound. Probably one of the darker Disney classics, but still really good. Just ignore the sequel. The Great Mouse Detective. You may have noticed I skipped the Black Cauldron. I do own the Black Cauldron, but it's on DVD. I've been meaning to upgrade it to Blu-ray, but unfortunately the Blu-ray went out of print before I could, get it. So maybe someday. But yeah, Great Mouse Detective. Pretty underrated Disney film that I think is getting more attention nowadays. But yeah, the only time we'll ever hear Vincent Price voice a Disney villain, which is unfortunate to think about. Oh, wait. By the way, I guess when I'm stacking these, I need to stack them the correct way when I put them back on the shelf. Give me a minute. Yeah, thanks for joining, Adrian, and just reviewing by me. Good to know at least some people are watching the stream. The sequel to Dumbo was canceled, as well as Dumbo. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Dumbo wasn't meant to get a sequel in Aristocats, but then again, I don't know what you could do with Dumbo or Aristocats sequel. So, BRB. Let me just put these back in my shelf real quick, and I'll get the next stack. All right, here's the next stack. All right. Okay, is it on? Okay, I think it's on. Sorry, this whole stream so far is becoming a mess. Okay, so next we got The Little Mermaid. Yeah, I don't have Oliver and Company in a moment. I'll have to get to that one eventually. But yeah, Little Mermaid, the beginning of the Disney Renaissance. Being the Beast. Aside from Fantasia, my other favorite Disney film ever. Yeah, most Disney sequels are pretty mid. But yeah, the Beast. Aladdin. Another beloved classic. The King. It's crazy to think that this film was meant to be just a side project, whereas their next film was meant to be the Oscar contender, which being, Pocahontas. I will agree this is definitely the worst of the Disney Renaissance films, but for me, I think it's just kind of okay at best. Like, yeah. And of course, it comes with its sequel. Wait, hold on. I gotta put these a certain way. Let me put it like that. Hunchback of Notre Dame, a Disney film that I don't think we would get nowadays, given how dark it is. Although I am wondering how the remake will be like. Do I own a? Yeah, we'll get to that. That's in another section. Hold on. But yeah, Hunchback, love that movie. Can't stand the sequel. We do not talk about the sequel. Hercules. I believe this is the only of the Disney Renaissance films that didn't get a straight-to-video sequel. I know I'm not counting Rest Down Under because that is a sequel, but yeah. I'm glad it didn't because this is a great film. Now looking forward to the remake whenever that comes out. Mulan 1 and 2. Love Mulan. Not the sequel, though. Tarzan, very underrated Disney film. I mean, what can I say? I think this was the Disney film I watched the most as a child, and I still love it to this day. I even liked the TV show as well. Oh yeah, I mean, I guess what happened to Pocahontas was really messed up when you know the actual story. So yeah. Dinosaur. I admit I have a soft spot for this movie, even though I acknowledge it's not one of their better films. I don't know. Maybe it's the case that I grew up with this film and I'm kind of used to the slower pace than most people. But I don't know. Got The Emperor's New Groove and Kronk's New Groove. I believe this is the only attempt Disney ever did to make a straight-up comedy. I mean, sure, Aladdin and Hercules have their funny moments, but The Emperor's New Groove feels like the closest thing to an actual, comedy where its focus, aside from telling a story, is to tell as many jokes as possible. So, yeah. Yeah, Dinosaur was a guilty pleasure for me, too. I mean, hope we get more people on the stream. I appreciate you two for commenting, don't get me wrong. I just was kind of hoping we get more people on here. Let's see. Okay, so we got Atlantis, The Lost Empire, and Miles Return. Very underrated film. Well, not Miles Return. Don't bother with that one. But Atlantis, great film. Shame it bombed as hard as it did. Lilo and Stitch, probably one of the most beloved Disney films from the early 2000s. Ohana means family, and family means jack shit. Apparently, according to the recent remake. I mean, I haven't seen the remake. I've heard it is... I've heard the remake is just... It's bad, from what I understand, what they did to the ending. So, but yeah. Treasure Planet. Again, another... Don't worry, bro. The best channels are... Are you referring to my channel, or are you talking about whatever movie I was just talking about? Because... I mean, my channel isn't that big, so I mean, I have like 4,900 subscribers, so I don't know, maybe, who knows? Just give it some time, I guess. But anyway, yeah, Treasure Planet, love this movie. Prince and the Frog, you may notice I skipped quite a few, because I don't have Brother Bear, because honestly, I think Brother Bear's just okay. Don't care for Home on the Range, don't care for Chicken Little. Meet the Robinsons and Bolt, I might get those someday. But yeah, Prince and the Frog, a great return to form to the classic Disney formula. It's a shame it didn't do very well when it came out. Tangled, in my opinion, this might be the last, like, truly great and when I say by truly great Disney film, I mean in the case the closest thing that feels like the classic Disney formula. The classic fairy tale, the romance, the musical, just like it feels like a classic Disney film. Because I feel like the Disney films that came after this that don't quite reach that. I mean, some of them are still good, don't get me wrong, but, if you're wondering, I don't have 2011 Winnie the Pooh, so got Wreck-It Ralph. Pretty solid film all around. Frozen, this used to be one of my favorite Disney films, but looking back, I think it's just all right. But yeah, pretty good. Big Hero 6, I'm going to be honest, I might piss off a few number of people, but I think this film's kind of overrated. I'm kind of with Razorblade on this, if you ever watch his channel. I mean, it's fine all around. Like, the element with Hero and Baymax is pretty good. It's just the whole Big Hero 6 element, I think, is just okay. Like, I just felt it was really underdeveloped, to be honest. Zootopia, apart from Tangled, I do love this in terms of the more modern Disney films, and I am definitely hoping the sequel will be good, so here's hoping. Then we got Moana, and yeah, another great one. I'm not huge into it like most people, but I still like the film, and I don't understand why Disney is remaking this. I mean, okay, you could say nostalgia, but how are you nostalgia for a film that's 10 years old? Or at least it's going to be 10 next year, so it's so strange. But yeah. That's that stack. We're almost done with the Disney classics, and then we'll move on to the next section. BRB. All right, I got the next stack. Let's see. Okay, how's everyone doing so far? Still down to 2 people because it's gonna be like that for the most of the stream. Anyway, let's see. Ryan the Last Dragon. So yeah, I've skipped Ralph Breaks the Internet. Ralph Breaks the Internet and Frozen 2. Let's see. I mean, it's understandable. I can understand why some people wouldn't be that fond of Zootopia. I don't know if it's just because of the political aspect or what, but I still like the film. Wreck-It Ralph is good too. But yeah, don't have Ralph Breaks the Internet or Frozen 2 because I heard both those films are not great. Yes, I still have not seen those movies yet. But yeah, Ryan the Last Dragon. I'm kind of conflicted on this film because I did like it. Well, I did like this film when it first came out, but since then, looking back, I will admit it does. I start to notice the problems with it. I mean, aside from the obvious issue of the moral being kind of butchered, I just felt like the story was way too rushed. Like maybe this would have worked better if it was like a mini series or even a trilogy, like a kind of like Lord of the Rings in a way. If they gave it more time to flesh out these characters in the world, but overall, I think it's just fine. We got Encanto, which is believe it or not, I still have not seen this movie. I've been meaning to. I don't know why I've been putting it off for so long. I mean, I've heard it's really good, so it's people are saying it's the last good Disney film we've gotten. Because from what I understand, Strange World, Wish, and Moana 2 are all not that great. So, yeah. That's all for the Disney Animation Studios I currently own. Before we go to the next section, we have just these 3 miscellaneous Disney titles. We got Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which you could argue is more of a live-action film, but I'd put it in the animation category because the animation does play a huge role in the story, so that's how I count it. Love this movie. Bob Hoskins is easily his best role. The Nightmare Before Christmas. One of y'all asked earlier, in comments like, okay. But yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas. I do have an interesting history with this movie because unlike a lot of people, I did not grow up with this film like some people. But it wasn't until I was in, I think, middle school when I first saw this film. We were having like a Christmas party and they decided to put this movie on. And I remember I liked it at the time, but I wasn't like huge into it yet. But as the years went on and the more I revisit the movie, it has grown on me. And yes, I could say it's definitely one of my favorite movies to watch around Christmas time. And speaking of Christmas, we got Robert Zemeckis' A Christmas Carol. Not my favorite Christmas Carol film adaptation. Whatever. There's plenty of other film adaptations I prefer. This one I do kind of a soft spot for. It has some pretty good moments in it, but overall, I think it's just okay. So, yeah. Let's see. I think we're doing far. All right. So now we're going on to the Pixar films, which I do have the majority of them, I think. So we got Toy Story, the one that started it all. Classic from my childhood. You're fine, Adrian. They probably will. I just haven't figured out what to do with them. Heroes vs. Villains. I'll be honest. I'm sure someone on the chat's going to talk about that. I have gotten some progress done on the new round, just not a lot. Just life's been hectic. You know how it is. But yeah. Anyway, A Bug's Life. I don't know if this counts as a hot take, but I think this movie's kind of overrated. I mean, it's fine, but I don't think it's one of Pixar's stronger films. At least I'd say during the golden age of Pixar, which I'd say started with Toy Story and it ended with Toy Story 3. I'd say Bug's Life would have to be the second worst after Cars, but that's just my opinion. It's fine all around. Honestly, I think if the movie focused on the circus bugs, it probably would have been better and more interesting. That's just me, though. Toy Story 2, a great sequel that nobody expected to be as good, if not better than the first one. Although, personally, I kind of flip-flop which one I like more, because they're both just equally amazing. So, yeah. Monsters, Inc., another beloved classic. Kind of wish we got a sequel to this instead of that okay prequel we got. I mean, I guess we did technically get a sequel with that Disney Plus show, Monsters at Work. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm not the only one who thinks it's overrated. I know a few other people. Personally, I'm going to say it. I think I prefer DreamWorks Ants over it. That's probably going to be a hot take for some, but, you know. Finding Nemo, another beloved classic. I think this is the Pixar film some of us watched the most as a kid or even a teen. Like, if you ever took biology class in high school, they would put this movie on for some reason. I don't know. The Incredibles, love The Incredibles, what I gotta say. And I thought the sequel was okay, but yeah, the first film, great. I'm not even huge into superheroes, but this might be one of my favorite superhero films ever. Yeah, I agree. Who from Roger? Sorry, I can't talk today. Roger Rabbit and Toy Story are both top tier Disney. Ratatouille, another Brad Bird Pixar film. Yeah, I don't have the first Cars. Honestly, I'm not really big into the Cars movies, so yeah. So yeah, Ratatouille, probably my second favorite Pixar film ever. And for one of my first, well, that would be Wally. What can I say? Love Wally. It's just my for me, this is one of my comfort movies. Whenever I watch something that'll put me in a good mood, it'll be this film. But yeah. Up, love Up. Sorry, I'm just checking what time it is. But funny enough, everyone always talks about how much this movie made them cry, and I'll be honest, this film kind of came close to making me cry when I first saw it, but it's not for the reasons you think. A lot of people always talk about the first 5 minutes of the movie, which are really is a really great scene, very sad. But for me, the scene that got me when I first saw the movie is the scene later on when Carl opens, his photo album and he finally sees that section he never saw before of him and Ellie. To me, that's the scene that broke me. I'm not gonna lie. And then we got Toy Story 3. In my opinion, this was the end of the golden era of Pixar, and honestly, it does feel like a good bookend for them because this was just a great way to end the trilogy. And when me and my family went to see this film together, my mom cried during the film because this was released around the time I was close to graduating from high school, so very relatable, very, very close to those times. Yeah, I don't have Cars too. Brave, yeah, I probably need to watch this again because a lot of people say this is one of the worst Pixar films, or at least one of the weaker ones. I mean, I remember I liked it fine at the time, but again, I probably need to revisit it just to make sure. Don't have Monster University. Inside Out, another great, more recent Pixar film. Another very emotional one, but you could say that with most Pixar films, I suppose. I do not have Finding Dory, but I have Coco. I like Coco fine enough. I know Misfit Pond, if he ever watches this. Okay, yeah, sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, man. But yeah, I know he said he's not fond of this movie, and I can kind of understand why. There is an element of this film that does kind of bug me. It's with a certain character in the film, like a certain revelation that happens later in the movie, which I might talk about that some other time. But yeah, and I don't have Incredibles 2 at the moment. I got Toy Story 4, the probably easily the most polarizing Pixar film of today. And I will admit I did enjoy the film when I first saw it, but looking back, it is definitely the weakest film, and it did not need to be made. But honestly, in my opinion, as far as a fourth installment to any franchise goes, this could have been a lot worse. But overall, I just think it's all right. We got Soul. In my opinion, this is probably the best film Pixar's released in the 2020s so far. They haven't made some of the top this yet. Probably one of the more mature films. Overall, I liked it. It was pretty solid. Although, personally, I think that I would have liked the film a lot more if they just cut out the transfer, just kept the human element and ignore the fantasy element of it. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. Luca. Have not seen Luca yet. I've been meaning to. It's on my watch list. I've heard it's very charming. So, yeah. That's that stack. Let me go grab another stack real quick. Let me put this stack there. And the stack here. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm back. Okay, we only got 2 more Pixar films here. Got Turning Red. Pretty okay film, I thought. I thought it was solid. I mean, honestly, it didn't annoy me as much as I thought it would be. I mean, honestly, the mother really annoyed me for obvious reasons, but yeah. And let's see, I don't have Lightyear because I heard that movie sucked. Oh yeah, also I don't own The Good Dinosaur because I wasn't a fan of that movie. And I don't have Elemental because, I don't know, that film, I'll have to check that film out to see, but, And I got Inside Out too. Sorry. Still have not watched this yet. I've been meaning to. I've heard it's pretty good. And so that's it for the Pixar films, and I think it's pretty much it for the Disney in general. So now we can move on to the DreamWorks movies I own, which I don't have a lot on Blu-ray. But yeah, I got The Prince of Egypt on the 4K. Now I will say this: the reason I don't have a lot of the DreamWorks films on Blu-ray is because even though I know they released most of them on Blu-ray technically, but unfortunately it's because of that really lazy thing that they do, where they have the Blu-ray cover, but it's just the character's face and a blank, solid, single background color. It's just really lazy, and I hate that look on Blu-ray. So, which is why I was fortunate when they decided to re-release this movie on 4K, so we can have an actual good-looking cover. But yeah, Prince of Egypt, my favorite DreamWorks film, and just one of my favorite animated films ever. Even if you're not religious like me and my family are, it's still a really great film, really great story. Now, looks like we're down to one viewer now. Oh dear. Let's see. Shrek. A bit of a hot take. I think this movie's overrated. It's still good. I still like the movie. I just don't put it on a high pedestal like most people do. Which is why, if you remember when I did that top 100 favorite animated movies video I did a couple years ago, the only DreamWorks film that made that list was Prince of Egypt. So yeah, but still a good movie. I can see why it had such a cultural impact. Also being the first animated film to win Best Animated Picture. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Shrek 2. Now I'm with most people. I like Shrek 2 more than the first Shrek. I think it just has a better story, better comedy, a better villain. And of course, they gave us Puss in Boots. So there's that. And if you're wondering, yes, those are the only Shrek films I own because I don't care for 3 and 4. Kung Fu Panda. Okay. I admit all right. You don't really necessarily have to be a Christian to enjoy The Prince of Egypt. You can still enjoy it for what it is. So, but yeah. Kung Fu Panda. Talk about an example of a movie no one was expecting to be as good as it was. It sounds ridiculous on paper, Jack Black as a kung fu fighting panda, and yet it managed to blow everyone's minds away how good it is. How to Train Your Dragon, great, really great film. Even though I think this one's a bit overhyped too, but even then I still think it's really good. Even if it does have a lot of cliches in it, still has really beautiful animation, and it's still great. It was. I don't know if I ever saw in theaters though. That's the thing. Maybe I did. I don't remember if I saw it in theaters, but yeah, great movie. Don't understand why DreamWorks remade it. What was the point in that? But yeah, Megamind, pretty underrated DreamWorks film in my opinion. I think it's really funny, really great take on the superhero genre. Kung Fu Panda 2, another example of a sequel that I think is better than the first film. It's just better in terms of the story and the emotion and the characters. It's just great. Rise of the Guardians, another DreamWorks film I think is underrated. Great concept and everything. How to Train Your Dragon 2, another sequel that I think is better than its predecessor. Let's see. Kung Fu Panda 3. I don't think I've seen this one yet. I may have seen bits and parts of it. I don't think I've seen the whole thing, but I probably should. Even though people say it's not as good as the previous 2 movies, but apparently it's still better than Kung Fu Panda 4, which I still haven't seen. I heard that movie sucked. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Not a perfect end to the trilogy, but overall, I thought it was still solid. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Yet another example of a sequel that's superior than its predecessor, which I guess that's a common thing for DreamWorks. They seem to be the opposite of Disney when it comes to their sequels, where most Disney sequels are garbage or just mediocre. DreamWorks seems to be the opposite for the most part, where their sequels end up being superior to their predecessors. Sorry, kind of my throat's acting up a little. The Wild Robot. Again, gotta trust Chris Sanders in this. Really great, very emotional film. Glad I saw that in theaters. Don't know why it took YMS 3 attempts to do his watch along that movie. That's so strange. But anyway, that's it for the DreamWorks movies that I have on Blu-ray. I do have a few other DreamWorks films, but they're on DVD and they're in another shelf, which I'll do regular DVDs in another stream. But now we're going on to the Don Bluth films, which I only have 5 of them. We got okay. Let's see. Some sequels being better than the first. It's the same way I feel about Chronicles of Narnia, Prince I'll be honest. I think Prince Caspian was okay. I thought it was a solid follow-up to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. While I still prefer the first film, I thought Caspian was still pretty good. Anyway, Secret of NIMH, easily Don Bluth's best film and my favorite. And although I got to be honest with you, I'm not a fan of this cover. I don't think it properly represents the movie. If if y'all have seen the movie, which I'm assuming most of y'all have, knowing how dark it is. So yeah. An American Tail, another great film by him, starring mice. I guess Don Bluth had a thing for mice. The Land Before Time, childhood right here. Even though I think I saw the sequels before I saw the first film, or at least the second one, but the original movie is a classic. It's the one you should stick to. All Dogs Go to Heaven, a very flawed but still charming little movie that's honestly, knowing about the history behind this film, the rough production history and stuff that went on behind the scenes, I won't be able to look this film the same way again. Like, it's, if y'all know what I'm talking about, you know. And finally, we got Anastasia. Probably the best of the Disney knockoffs of the 90s. Back when, they try to make other companies were trying to copy Disney, like, Swan Princess, Fern Gully, Quest for Camelot, The King and I, and so on. But this is probably easily the better of the Disney knockoffs. So much so that people thought this was a Disney film back then. Although I guess since Disney owns 20th Century Fox, I guess this is now a Disney film, kind of. But yeah. But still, pretty good movie all around. And also, this Blu-ray comes with its prequel, Bartok the Magnificent. So yeah, good movie. Okay, now we go on. Sorry, it's a shame I get to own my favorite animated film, which is Spider-Verse. Yeah, great movie. We'll get to that in a little bit. So yeah, now we go into the Laika films. We got Coraline. Probably my favorite of the Laika films. Also, I think this Blu-ray is now out of print. Also, it still have the 3D glasses that haven't even opened yet, but guess I'll have to watch it with those someday. But yeah, great movie, very dark and creepy. Paranorman, love Paranorman. I think it's pretty underrated. Also, there's that kind of a green ray instead of a Blu-ray. This slipcover glows in the dark. I think it still does, but yeah, very special looking movie. Love Paranorman. Okay, that's it for that stack. Let me go grab the next one. Okay, sorry about that. Had to grab a drink. My throat's acting up today for some reason. Guess I'm not used to talking so much. Ooh. All right. Okay. All right. Continue with Laika. Got the Box Trolls. Pretty solid movie all around. I like the villain, and yeah, it's an okay film all around. Kubo and the Two Strings. I really need to rewatch this one. I've only seen it once, and I have yet to revisit it. So, but I remember being really good. So. Come on. Okay, so hot take. I don't count Fox as part of Disney the same way I don't count Marvel as part of Disney. Yeah, that's understandable. That's fair. To be honest, when I think Disney, I think of actual Disney, not Marvel or Star Wars or Fox or anything like that. Sorry. This stream is a mess. Missing Link. Definitely the weakest of Laika's films, in my opinion, but I still thought it was pretty solid. And I cannot wait for Laika's new movie, Wildwood, I think is what it's called. Don't know when that's coming out, but I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, next we're going into the Sony Pictures animated films. We got Surf's Up. Pretty underrated film, actually. I'd argue this is the best Penguin movie we ever gotten. I think, unless there's one I'm forgetting. But, yeah. A very solid film. Very funny. Really unique way of telling the story. Arthur Christmas. This is a joint between Sony and Aardman. And honestly, this might be my favorite Aardman movie by that logic. Which I know, Aardman, the same studio behind Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit and Shaun the Sheep and all that. There's not a lot of good Penguin movies out there. Yeah, I guess there really isn't. Especially the sequel to Surf's Up, we do not talk about. But yeah, Arthur Christmas, very underrated animated Christmas movie that I think is getting more attention nowadays, which is good because I think this definitely deserves more attention. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, one of the biggest surprises. I will say, as someone who is not that big into superheroes, this might be my favorite superhero movie ever. Just gonna say it. Really loved it. Beautiful animation. I wish more superhero films were made like that. The Mitchells versus the Machines, another pleasant surprise. I didn't expect to be as good as it was. Really funny, great animation, a really charming family road trip slash post-apocalyptic movie. But yeah. And then we got Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which I still need to watch. I still have not seen this yet. I don't know why I'm taking so long to see some of these, but it's definitely on my to-watch list real soon. I hear it's even better than Into the Spider-Verse, although some people don't agree to that, but who knows. I'll definitely need to watch it before Beyond comes out, which I'll have time till then. And that's all I have for Sony. Next up, this next section is just kind of miscellaneous. This is just random animated films that aren't part of some major studios, so I just have them alphabetized. So these are in alphabetical order. We got 9, pretty solid, pretty dark animated film. I kind of wonder how many parents took their kids to see this, considering that this is a PG-13 rated movie. But yeah. We got Alice by, what's his name? Jan Schwattmeyer. I'm probably butchering that name right there. Really dark, really creepy Alice in Wonderland movie adaptation. But yeah, this is from the same director who did Little Otik, which if you've seen my favorite films of the year 2000, I did talk about that movie. But yeah, same director as this. But yeah. American Pop by Ralph Bakshi. This is probably my favorite of his, although it's kind of a toss-up between this and Coonskin, which I don't own Coonskin at the moment because you can only get on DVD. Although I heard rumors it might get a Blu-ray release soon. Or not soon, but someday. But yeah, American Pop was really good from what I remember. It's probably the most laid back of Bakshi's movies, if y'all know what I mean by that. His films tend to be pretty crazy and out there, but yeah. Let's go. Okay. We got Anomalisa by Charlie Kaufman, probably my favorite film in general from 2015. It's not a film for everyone because it is more it's a slower movie. Most of the film takes place in this hotel room, but I thought it was fantastic. Really great stop motion animation, and it's about time that an R-rated animated film was nominated for Best Animated Picture. All right. Yeah, Tim Burton's Batman is really good. I like Tim Burton's Batman. Never seen Last Action Hero. But yeah. Balto. This is just a film from my childhood. You know, I like this movie fine enough. It's fine. It's not accurate to the real story, but then again, how many of these movies are accurate to real events? You know what I mean? Yeah. 9 was definitely a pretty crazy film, to be honest. Yeah. Let's see. Beavis and Butthead Do America. I didn't watch that much Beavis and Butthead back then. Maybe a bit, and I may have seen bits of this movie. It's out there, but it's Beavis and Butthead. What do you expect? The Book of Life, the movie that a lot of people think Coco ripped off from, and yeah, the two movies are kind of similar. They're both Mexican. They're both they take place during the Day of the Dead, whatever they call it. But they are both, the main characters love music, but they have family members that don't approve of their love for music. But I think the story all around the execution is still different. Like The Book of Life is a romance film, and Coco isn't. There's that. There's other differences too, but I like them both, and I think The Book of Life is pretty underrated. I love the villain Zabalba. He's got a really cool design and voice. If you like Terminator 2, Judgment Day, or just action movies as a whole, I think you would like Last. Actually, I may have seen bits of Last Action Hero. It's been a long time. I remember from what I saw, I wasn't that crazy, but who knows? Maybe a revisit in the future will be. But yeah. Corpse Bride. This movie is now 20 years old. That's hard to believe. This is 20 years old now. Tim Burton's first animated film he directed. He did not direct Nightmare Before Christmas. That was Henry Selick. So this is only one of 2 animated films Tim Burton directed. That and Frankenweenie, which I don't own Frankenweenie. I probably should do that sometime in the future. I remember liking that movie. And apparently, Tim Burton's currently working on a new animated film, which I'm looking forward to that. Um, we got The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. I got to see this in theaters earlier this year, and that was a fun experience. Not a perfect movie, but then again, it's a Looney Tunes movie. Like, do you really go into this movie expecting a complex plot? It's a Looney Tunes movie. What do you expect? Wait, am I doing okay? But really fun movie. I just wish it did better in theaters, and hopefully we'll get that Coyote versus Acme movie. So yeah. Um, don't judge me on this one, but Fritz the Cat. He's X-rated and animated, or however the tagline went. I'll be honest, this is one of those movies I mostly own because I appreciate what it did for the time. As if this film wasn't the hit that it was, we probably wouldn't have a lot of the adult animated films or shows we have nowadays. Because this movie proves that animated films aimed for an older audience can be successful both financially and critically. I just think the movie overall is just pretty fine for what it is. It's definitely not a film for everyone. Let's see. Gulliver's Travels. This is the 1939 film adaptation and was the first, and actually it was only one of two animated films by Don Fleischer Studios. This and Mr. Bug Goes to Town. This also was the second animated film to be made in America. But yeah, I watched this for the first time the other day, and it's a pretty solid film. The pacing is a little slow at times, and I didn't realize Gabby was in this movie. So, I mean, if you know your classic cartoon characters, you should know who Gabby is. Yeah, I actually like Fritz the Cat. It's not as awful as something like the draw. Yeah, I never liked the Drawn Together movie. I watched that film at a friend's house, and keep in mind, I never saw the Drawn Together show before seeing the movie. So, you can imagine how much that affected my view on the show. Which, I mean, I've seen a few episodes of the show since then. I think the show is whatever. Not exactly my cup of tea, but you know. Hold on a second. I need another sip. Yeah. When it comes to Ralph Bakshi, I prefer American Pop, Heavy Traffic, Coonskin, and I even like Wizards more. That's just me, though. Um, speaking of Penguin movies, we were talking about Penguin movies earlier. Yeah, I have Happy Feet. I don't know. Like, it's fine. Like, no, it did not deserve to win Best Animated Picture. But then again, 2006 was a weird year for the animated category because this was the winner with Monster House and Cars being the nominees. So, yeah, kind of a joke of the year, to be honest. Heavy Metal. Again, I kind of own this because I know it has sort of a cultural... I don't know how much of a cultural impact this film had at the time, considering that I think this was a Canadian film, so I don't know how mainstream this film was at the time. But it's another one of those... When people think of like adult or R-rated animated films, this one gets brought up a lot. And I think the movie's fine overall. Like, it's got cool animation, a rockin' soundtrack. It's just, you know, it's just kind of all over the place. And I don't know. It could have been better. It's still better than its sequel. And honestly, I'd say Love, Death, and Robots is the better version of Heavy Metal. But yeah. The Iron Giant. Great movie. Again, this is one of those movies that I wasn't too into as a kid, but as I got older, I've grown to love it the more and more I revisit it. And I'm so glad they eventually released this on Blu-ray and added in 2 extra scenes that weren't in the original cut. So there's that. Excuse me. It's Such a Beautiful Day by Don Hertzfeldt. This is a very rare Blu-ray to find. And honestly, this is, for me, one of my favorite animated films ever. It's in my top 10. But I can understand why this film would not appeal to everyone because it's kind of artsy in a way. I mean, it's not even a long movie. It's like 62 minutes long. But and despite having such a simplistic art style, as it's just these focus. Okay, yeah, these stick figure characters. But there is a very heavy theme in this film. I'd rather not go too much into it because I'd probably go into spoilers. But great movie in my opinion. Okay, thanks, just reviewing me by. That's understandable. If you want to, y'all could do, I understand, this is just something to interact with. I was hoping we get more people in the comments. So far, I'm only seeing 2 people, commenting, but, you know, we're just here to chat movies and all that. That's fine. I'm gonna get another stack. Hold on. We still got quite a bit to go through. Okay. Now we're okay. Almost turned off my microphone for a second. Okay. Okay. Klaus. Now you're probably wondering how the hell do I have a Blu-ray of this movie? This is a bootleg. I actually bought this on, I think someone sold it on eBay. I don't know where they got it, but it's the movie. Yeah, really great animated Christmas movie. I know the director of this is working on a new film, and I can't wait to see what that's about. Yeah. Gee whiz. Let's see. Okay. The Last Unicorn, another underrated 80s animated film. Although I haven't seen this movie in forever, so it probably needs a rewatch. Songs performed by America. Worth noting. Let's see. Okay. We got Legend of the Guardians, the Owls That Go Whole. I did like this film when I first saw it, but that was a long time ago, so maybe it's not as good as I remember being. I know it's based on a book series, and I guess it's not that loyal to the books. I don't know. But, yeah. All right. Got the Lego movie. What can I say? A movie that, again, another example of a movie I don't think anyone was expecting to be as good as it was. But yeah, really funny, really great commentary in it. Lego Batman movie, also really good. A lot of fun, great, really, really funny. But I need to rewatch this film because I haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters. And if you're wondering, no, I don't own Lego Ninjago because is Klaus going to appear in Heroes with Villains? I don't know. I haven't decided. I don't know how to use that in the series, but who knows? But yeah, I don't have the Lego Ninjago movie because I remember that film not being very good, and I still haven't seen the Lego movie 2, which I've heard mixed things. The Little Prince. I still have not seen this movie yet. I've heard it's really good, and I remember when this film first came out, a lot of people were pissed that this did not get a theatrical release, and yet Norm of the North did. Need I say more? Mad God, a very experimental, surreal, stop-motion animated film. I do appreciate the hard work that Phil Tippett put into the animation. The animation looks stellar. It's just the story, I will admit, is a bit slow at times, which is weird because it's like an hour and 20 minutes. But maybe it would have worked a little better as a short. But I don't know. I probably need to give this film another watch. But still, great film nonetheless. Monster House, I need to revisit this film. I don't know if I've even seen the whole thing, but I just remember it being a pretty solid movie for kids to watch for Halloween. The Peanuts movie, easily the best Blue Sky film ever, unless you count Nimona, which I still haven't seen Nimona, but everyone said that film was really good, and it was by Blue Sky until the studio, shut down and all that. But if we're only going strictly what's under Blue Sky's, label, then yeah, the Peanuts movie I'd say is their best. Piece by Piece, I still have not watched this yet, but I've heard it's really good, despite its really weird premise. Like, it's a documentary about Pharrell Williams, but it's told through Lego, which I don't get it, but apparently it's good, so there's that. The Polar Express, this is a lenticular slip. I don't know if y'all could see it, but yeah. Not a perfect movie, but I don't know. This movie's kind of special to me because my family and I, when we first saw it, we saw it on Christmas Eve night, and it just felt like the perfect movie to watch on Christmas Eve. You know what I mean? At least when you're a kid. Looking back, it's not perfect, but as far as book to film, or at least films based on children's books, it's fine. It's probably one of the better ones. Rango, a very great film that not enough people give credit for. Also, it won Best Animated Picture of this year, which is cool. I will say it is kind of funny that Johnny Depp and Bill Nighy are in this film together. Jack Sparrow and Davy Jones. So there's that. I mean, it is from the same director as Pirates of the Caribbean, so there's that. Robots. I have a soft spot for this movie. Look, it's not a masterpiece by any means, but I mean, the story is cliched and generic. The main character is cliche and generic, but it has its funny moments. I kind of like the villains, and there is some decent commentary in this film about the social class and all that. So, yeah. There's that. Let's see. Okay, just saying we're still going. A Scanner Darkly by Richard Linklater. Have not seen this yet, but I'm curious about it. It looks interesting. I've heard it's pretty good. I've seen his other animated film, Waking Life, which I do own, but it's on DVD and it's in another shelf, so yeah. Shaun the Sheep movie. Really charming film. Loved it. I still have not seen the sequel, Farmageddon, which I've heard is also good, so yeah. The Simpsons movie. I haven't seen this yet. I haven't watched a whole lot of The Simpsons, but I've heard this is pretty solid. South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. Again, I have not seen this yet, but I've only seen a handful of South Park, so I'll definitely get around to this eventually. Wasn't there a thing when that movie came out? Wasn't there a thing where Robin Williams came out to sing the Blame Canada song? I remember hearing something about that. I don't know if that happened or not. Okay. Space Jam. Look, it's not a great film, but I kind of have a soft spot for it. It's another one of those guilty pleasures. Like, it's a very 90s movie. Like, it screams the 90s, but I don't know. It's sort of this. That's kind of part of the appeal of it, which is the least I can say for its sequel. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie. I haven't seen this in forever. Like, I'm not the biggest SpongeBob fan, but even I have to admit this movie was really good. So yeah. Let's see. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. Still have not seen this film, but I mean to, especially with its sequel coming out sometime soon. Let's see. The Adventures of Tintin, the only animated film that Steven Spielberg has directed, which I think is really crazy because the guy has worked on animated projects in the past. Consider he helped Don Bluth. He and George Lucas helped Don Bluth with The Land Before Time and American Tail. And then he would later make shows like Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain. So it's crazy that this is the only animated movie he's actually directed. And I kind of wish he would do more like this. But yeah, the movie itself is pretty solid. I'm not that familiar with Tintin, but, you know. Okay. To Your Last Death. I don't know anything about this movie. I've seen a trailer of it, and it looked kind of interesting, even though the animation still looked a little cheap. I've heard it's not that great, but I don't know. I'll check it out eventually. We don't get that many animated horror films, you know that? A Town Called Panic. I think this Blu-ray is out of print. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if this is an official Blu-ray, but yeah, Town Called Panic, very underrated stop-motion animated comedy, really ridiculous. It's great. It's a lot of fun. There's a particular scene in the movie that makes me laugh quite a bit. It's the scene where the wife gives her husband his breakfast, and I don't know why. The way the scene plays out is just really hilarious to me. Okay, that's that pile. Let me go get another stack. Okay. All right. Toys in the Attic. Have not seen this yet, but I know it's from the director of The Pied Piper, the 86 version of that story, but I've heard it's pretty dark and out there, so definitely interested in that one. And Yellow Submarine. Love this movie. Probably one of the trippiest animated films you'll ever watch, but that's what I love about it. So good. Right. Hold on a second. I need more water. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Hold on a second. I need to check something real quick. Hold on a second. I'm just checking something real quick. Hope everyone's having a good day, by the way. Hope y'all are staying cool. It's been really hot lately. I mean, then again, I don't know where you guys live. It's probably cool where y'all at now. Who knows? Hold on a second. Just what? No. Okay. Anyway, Sorry about that. So yeah, Yellow Submarine, great movie. Now we on to the next section of my animation station, where basically this is where I call the boutique section, where I have just random boutique labels, and the boutiques themselves in alphabetical order. So start off with A24 with the only animated film that's in their catalog right now, and that is Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Love this film, really charming. I hope A24 makes more films like this in the future. They could use some more family films, especially more animated films. So there's that. Yeah. By Arbalos, we have Son of the White Mayor, a Hungarian animated film. I kind of wish I got this with its fancy slipcover, but I wasn't able to because it went out of print way too quickly. But nonetheless, really trippy, very psychedelic. It's really good, though. Let's see. Let's see, who did this? Cartuna, I guess is the name of this boutique label. We have Nuts, which is, I think, a documentary that uses animation. I don't know much about this film, but based on the few clips I've seen, it looks pretty insane. So, kind of curious to check that one out. Let's see, how am I doing this? Okay. Okay. Now on to the Criterion Collection, which Criterion so far has released 5 animated films. We got Fantastic Mr. Fox, my favorite Wes Anderson film, and just one of my favorite films of all time. It's another one of those feel-good movies that I love to put on when I just want to feel better. Fantastic Planet, really trippy, very another trippy. You'll notice that a lot of my favorite animated films tend to be very trippy and psychedelic. Between films like this, It's Such a Beautiful Day, Yellow Submarine, stuff like that. Really great film. It's not for everyone, though, but, probably my favorite 70s animated film now I think about it. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. This film did not disappoint. I'm glad I got to see this in theaters for a limited time before it would go on Netflix. So, yeah. And then I got WALL-E. Now, you're probably wondering, didn't I show WALL-E earlier when I got to the Pixar films? I did. And normally when Criterion releases a film that I own the regular brew of, I would usually upgrade it. For example, they recently announced History of Violence and Guillermo del Toro's Nightmare Alley will get a Criterion release in October, so I will be upgrading those Blu-rays to the Criterion when those come out. But with WALL-E, I guess I'll make the exception because it is one of my favorite movies ever, and I would just feel weird not having WALL-E in with the Pixar films, and I would feel even weirder putting this in with the Disney collection. So, yeah, that's just me, though. I guess if any Disney film deserves to be in the Criterion collection, it would be WALL-E. So, yeah. Watership Down, really dark. Don't know why so many kids saw this film, but then again, the UK has some really weird rating systems going on over there, I guess. But yeah. And I can't wait till September when we get the Criterion releases of both Isle of Dogs and Flow. So that's going to be exciting. Let's see. By who distributed this? Senedig? I don't know. Anyway, Loving Vincent, the first oil-painted animated film ever. What can I say? Great movie. But yeah. Not for everyone, though. I guess unless you're into Vincent van Gogh and his history, you might not be that into the film, but who knows. Now we get into the Deaf Crocodile releases, and this is one I'm looking forward to showing. I have most of their animated titles. There's a few new ones that came out that I haven't gotten yet. We got Benny's Bathtub, haven't seen yet. Bubble Bath, haven't seen yet. Cat City, haven't seen yet. Delta Space Mission, haven't seen yet. Felidae, of course I've seen this one because I did use it in my Heroes vs. Villains tournament. And I'm glad this obscure German film finally has a Blu-ray release, or just a physical release in general, because I don't think this had that many physical releases. But yeah, you thought Watership Down or Play Dogs were dark. This more so, but it's not a perfect movie, but I actually really like it. I think it's solid. Gwen and the Book of Sand, haven't seen this one yet. I've heard it's really good. Can't wait to check it out. BRB, let me grab the next stack. All right. Alrighty. Continuing with Deaf Crocodile, we have Heroic Times, haven't seen yet. The Pied Piper. This is the Pied Piper I mentioned earlier. Really strange film, to say the least, but really good nonetheless. The Son of the Stars, and The Tune. I'm happy that this company is distributing Bill Plimpton's movies, because this is a pretty underrated animation creator. Next, we have Draft House. We got The Congress. This is from the director of Walter Bashir. Haven't seen it yet. I've heard it's pretty decent. Then we get to IFC with Marion Max. As if y'all know me well enough, this is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love Marion Max. It just means a lot to me as someone who is on the spectrum. It's easily the best movie about autism ever. And then we got the director's other film, Memoir of a Snail, which I did get to see in theaters last year, and I'm so happy I did. It's easily my favorite movie of 2024. Did you know Yellowstone was supposed to have CGI that was supposed to... Yes, I did hear about Yellow Submarine was going to be going to get a CGI remake. Although I don't know if Disney... I thought it was going to be Robert Zemeckis' studio, what was that? Motion capture studio, whatever it's called, but... I guess it never happened because their studio shut down because of Mars Needs Moms. And a good thing it didn't, because I don't know how a CGI remake of Yellow Submarine would look. I just imagine that'd be nightmare fuel. Now by, who distributed this one? Kenton Stim? I don't know. But anyway, The Wolf House. Another very underrated foreign stop-motion animated film that if you're a fan of stop-motion, you should definitely check out. It's really dark, very out there. Now, by Kino Lorber, we got Tower, a really great but very stressful documentary about one of the earliest school shootings ever. Really great. This is probably one of my favorite documentary films. Just going to say that. And now by, by Magnolia, we have Cryptozoo. I only know about this movie because YMS talked about it before, and based on the clips I've seen, it looks interesting. So, yeah. The Adventures of Mark Twain. I think this Blu-ray is now out of print, so I guess you're out of luck if you want this. Pretty underrated claymation film by what's his name? Will Vinton. Rest in peace. Let's see. By Milestone Cinematic, we have The Adventures of Prince Ahmed, the oldest surviving animated film ever. If you're a fan of animation and you haven't seen this, you should definitely check it out. It's simple, but it's really good. It's a really great film. By MVD, I guess, we have My Love Affair with Marriage. I don't know anything about this movie. Just that title alone sounds intriguing. I've heard it's pretty good, so yeah. Now by Neon, we have Flea, the first documentary to be nominated for Best Animated Picture. Haven't seen it yet. I've heard it's really good. And then we got Robot Dreams. Haven't seen this yet. I've heard it's nothing but great things about it. Can't wait to check it out. And now on to the Shout Factory titles. We have Big Fish and Begonia, a Chinese animated film that I still have not seen. Another Chinese title, The Legend of Hay. Again, I've heard it's really good, but definitely need to check out. Long Way North. This is a French movie, I believe. I have seen this. Really great film. I don't know what's taking them so long to release this director's other film, Calamity. It's like a Calamity Jane movie, but it came out like in 2020, but it still doesn't have a physical release. But yeah, I remember this being really good. I definitely need to rewatch that one. Then we got The Plague Dogs from the same people behind Watership Down, also based on a book by the same author as Watership Down. Really dark, very depressing. Tito and the Birds. I've seen this movie once, but I don't remember a jack from it. I remember it being interesting, but it has an interesting art style, but this probably definitely needs a revisit. The Transformers the movie. This was the best Transformers movie out there until Transformers 1. Just saying. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but I'll gladly take this over the Michael Bay movies. Just saying. And then onto the Sony Pictures Classics, we have The Illusionist from the director of The Triplets of Belleville. Now, I do own The Triplets of Belleville, but it's on DVD, and that's in another section. I've been meaning to upgrade it to Blu-ray, so I'll have to do that soon. But I actually like this more than Triplets of Belleville. I mean, I love both. Both movies are great, but I kind of prefer this one. So yeah. Okay, that's it for that stack. Let me put these away, and then we can get to the next section. So, excuse me. All right, let me just grab another sip. All right. Alrighty. The Peasants. This is from the same director as Loving Vincent. Still haven't seen it yet, but I'm been meaning to. Persepolis. I may have mentioned this before, but this was the first Blu-ray I ever bought that made me start this Blu-ray collection thing. So, yeah, this movie's very special to me. Really great. Very dark and depressing, though. So, yeah. The Red Turtle. Now, I know this is technically a collab between Studio Ghibli and some French studio, but I kind of put it with I didn't put it with my Studio Ghibli films because it's just too different, I guess. I don't know, that's just me. Great movie, though. So, Waltz with Bashir. Really dark, really great. If you love war movies like Saving Private Ryan or Apocalypse Now, then this is a definite must-watch. Let's see. Next by SY. I don't know who distributed. No, wait. Synergetic, I guess the name of this one. I can understand why the Michael Bay Transform films would be guilty pleasure for some. I don't think I have any plans to use them in Heroes vs. Villains. I do have some plans for the Transformers, others both in hand-drawn and CGI, but we'll see. Anyway, Junkhead. This is a Japanese stop-motion animated film. Haven't seen it yet. Heard it's really good, so yeah. And then by Twilight Time, I think this is the only animated film that this studio distributed, and that is When the Wind Blows. Very dark, depressing, sad, but really good. From the same person behind The Snowman. And then by the Warner Brothers Archive, we have double features, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island and the bloody sequel, Return to Zombie Island, we just do not talk about. Like the first film, easily the best Scooby-Doo movie ever. And I also got Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost and Scooby-Doo and Alien Invaders. I'm just missing the Cyber Chase one out of those particular Scooby-Doo movies. And then we got the two Well Go USA titles that, we got Nija. I did watch this film for the first time earlier this year in preparation to see Nija 2, and the first one's good. The second one is really good. If you haven't seen the second one, you got to see it in theaters. It was easily my favorite movie of the year so far. Apparently, I think A24 is going to distribute the English dub of Nija 2 next month. So if it does come out next month, y'all be prepared for that. And then we got Jian Zia, which takes place in the same universe as Nija. Haven't seen this yet, but I've heard it's pretty good. All right, now we have the G-Kids titles, or at least the ones that aren't anime, because, yeah, these are just the more independent or foreign titles that aren't from Japan. We got Another Day of Life, a great Polish war movie, kind of a documentary. Approved for Adoption. Don't know much about this film. I haven't seen it yet. I think it's a documentary about these orphans. I don't know, but need to check it out. April in the Extraordinary World. I really like this film. I think this was pretty good. Apparently it's from the same people that made Persepolis. Not the same director, but some of the same people who worked on Persepolis worked on this. So there's that. Hold on a second. I don't know what's wrong with my throat today. I guess I'm not used to talking. But yeah. Yop City. This is technically a Kino Lorber title, but it's G-Kids, so yeah. Haven't seen it yet. Definitely need to check it out. Bird Boy the Forgotten Children. Really dark, kind of messed up, but really good, though. Really, yeah. I don't know. Like I say, I love when animated films aren't afraid to be more dark and mature. Boy in the World, a really great Brazilian animated film that doesn't rely on dialogue. So, yeah. Got The Breadwinner by Cartoon Saloon. Probably the only film they made so far that technically isn't a kids film. I mean, it is PG-13, so it deals with a more mature subject matter than the other Saloon films. A Cat in Paris. Haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's good, so yeah. Chico and Rita. Really great Spanish animated film that not enough people know about or talk about, so yeah. Ernest and Celestine, really wholesome, charming. If you have kids, then show them this movie. This is a great family film. And I still have not seen the sequel. I've heard the sequel's pretty good. Funin, much like Another Day of Life, another really stressful animated war movie. So kind of a war film. I mean, yeah, it's apparently based on a true story. So, and then we got The Girl Without Hands. I need to rewatch this one. I've seen it once a long time ago. I remember having a really unique art style. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's okay. That's that section. We'll be right back. Okay, got another stack. Whoop, hold on a second. These are sliding around. I'm doing this on my bed, and in case anyone's wondering why am I on my bed and not on my desk, is because for some reason the internet connection is very weak on that side of my room. I don't know why. It's better when I'm doing it on my bed, which is kind of sucks, but what can I do? Anyway, Moana's Fantastic Tale. Really great. I would recommend this, but if you're a dog lover, you'll love this, or you might be heartbroken by this, so who knows? All right. Mars Express. I actually got to see this in theaters. Great experience. Really great sci-fi film. I cannot wait to watch it again. MFKZ. Haven't seen it yet. It looks insane based on the trailer, so yeah. Mune, Guardian of the Moon. Pretty solid movie from what I remember. Not amazing, but, you know. My Life as a Zucchini. Really great French stop-motion animated film. It's also really short. It's like, I think it's like 65 minutes, so it's a pretty short movie. The Prophet, from the director of The Lion King, of all things. Yeah. Not as good as The Lion King, obviously, but this was a pretty good movie. It's got Liam Neeson in it, so there's that. The Rabbi's Cat. Some of you may know this film if you watch YMS. He put this film on his favorite films of 2011. And if I ever do my top 30 favorite films of 2011, this probably end up on that list too, because this was actually really good. Unicorn Wars, from the same director of Bird Boy: The Forgotten Children, and it's just as dark, if not more so. Apparently, the director was inspired by Bambi, Apocalypse Now, and the Bible. If you've seen the movie, you'll understand why. White Snake. Have not seen this yet. It's another Chinese animated film, but I've heard mixed things about it, although this is one YouTuber I follow who seems to really like the movie, so I'll give it a chance. All right, now we got the boutique titles out of the way, for the most part. Now we can move on to the anime section of my collection, which I have a lot of anime, so starting off with the Studio Ghibli films. We got Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind. Great beginning to the studio. Love it. Castle in the Sky. Honestly, I'd say if you want to get someone into Studio Ghibli, this would be the perfect film to start on. It has a little bit of everything: action, adventure, comedy, mystery, sci-fi, romance. It's just a lot of fun. It's a ton of fun. My Neighbor Totoro. I'll be honest, I think this one's kind of overrated. I mean, it's good, but people hype this up as one of the greatest animated films of all time, and I thought it was good. It was good. Grave of the Fireflies. This Blu-ray is out of print, but apparently G-Kids is about to, or I think they already have re-released this film, and I'm wondering if I should upgrade it to that. Maybe. I'll think about it, just to keep things consistent, but still, one of my all-time favorite movies. Definitely my favorite war movie, but it's definitely not an easy film to sit through, though. I will agree on that. Kiki's Delivery Service, another really great one that everyone should watch, especially if you have kids. Like, this is a film the whole family can enjoy. Only Yesterday. I don't have the slipcover. I hope to eventually get a slipcover for this, but pretty good movie all around. One of the few Studio Ghibli films that Disney didn't distribute because apparently they didn't like the fact the movie goes into puberty a little bit, which is really weird considering that one of their more recent films was about puberty. Porco Rosso, pretty good movie all around. I probably need to watch it again though. Ocean Waves, again, I didn't get with a slip, but hopefully someday I will. Definitely one of the weaker Ghibli films, but yeah, I thought it was just okay. Pompoko, pretty good all around. All around. Whisper of the Heart, the first and sadly last film by this director until he passed away. But I definitely need to revisit this one, but I remember being really good, so yeah. Princess Mononoke, really great. Probably one of the more mature Ghibli films. Like, it's hard to believe Disney was okay with distributing this one, given how violent it gets. My Neighbors the Yamadas, pretty alright film by them. Really solid. Really different art style than what we're used to. Spirited Away, as you all know, my favorite movie of all time, my favorite animated film of all time, my favorite Ghibli film of all time, my favorite film of 2001, yada yada, you get the idea. Love this movie to death. Love it. Yeah. Are there any Studio Ghibli films, The Breadwinner, Fantastic? I haven't decided yet. I mean, if I do put Studio Ghibli films in Heroes of Villains, maybe I could put them on the Disney side just to add more Disney characters on their side, because technically Disney did distribute them, so I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But yeah. The Cat Returns, the kind of spin-off to Whisper of the Heart, but you can watch this without watching Whisper of the Heart, so there's that. All right, there's that. Let me get the next stack. All right. All right. Continuing with the Studio Ghibli films, we have Howl's Moving Castle. Pretty good movie. I think it's kind of overhyped, but it's good. Tales from Earthsea. This is often regarded as one of their worst films. I thought it was just okay, but then again, I never read the books this is based on, so who knows. Ponyo. Probably in my opinion, Hayao Miyazaki's weaker film, but I still thought it was good. It was okay. The Secret World of Arrietty. Pretty good movie. From Up on Poppy Hill, probably one of the more underrated Ghibli films in my opinion. The Wind Rises, the last of the Ghibli films to be distributed by Disney. And honestly, if this was Miyazaki's final film, which it almost was, it would have been a great way to end his career, because this was a really great one. And it kind of summed up his legacy in a way. Anyway, The Tale of the Princess Kaguya. I need to watch this again. I remember not being too huge on it. I mean, I really loved it, but it didn't make it that high on my list. But then again, maybe if I watch it again, that will change. When Marnie Was There. So far, one of the few movies ever to make me cry. But if y'all have seen the movie, you know why. Particularly the song Fine on the Outside. I don't think any song has ever made me break in tears like that one has. But it's probably for relatability reasons. So yeah. Hey, Anita. Yeah, Dinosaur. It's not perfect, but I have a soft spot for that movie. The Boy and the Heron. I am so happy I saw this in theaters. It was great. Love this movie. Love that it won Best Animated Picture. It definitely deserved it. Even says right there on the sticker right there how it won Best Animated Picture. So yeah. That's the Studio Ghibli films. You probably noticed I have all of them with the exception of Earwig and the Witch, which I haven't seen that one, but I've heard it's really bad. So now on to the Makoto Shinkai films. We have The Place Promised in Our Early Days, his very first movie. I probably need to watch this again because I'll be honest, I don't remember a damn thing from it. Did you watch The Smurfs: The Lost Village back in 20? No, I haven't. I heard it wasn't that good though. To be honest, it didn't look that great to me. But yeah, Place Promised in Our Early Days, his first movie. Probably not one of his better films, but it was solid. 5 centimeters per second. Probably one of the most brutally honest romance films you will ever watch. Like, I don't know if this is the kind of movie you want to watch with your lover because it'll have you both in tears. But maybe that is a reason to watch it. I don't know. Children Who Chase Lost Voices. Great movie. Well, maybe I wouldn't say great. I mean, it's probably another one of his weaker films, but whatever. The Garden of Words, again, beautiful animation. This guy really loves to animate rain and clouds and all that. Yeah, you know. Okay, yeah. Your Name. What can I say that hasn't been said about this movie? I love this movie, but I probably need to watch it again because some people are saying it's kind of overhyped, and it's one of those movies that probably gets a little worse the more you really look into when you look at it. But for me, I absolutely love this film. It's easily the director's best film, in my opinion. Weather with You, I got to see in this theaters. Absolutely loved it. And then his most recent film, Suzume, which I still have not seen yet, but I've heard it's really good. So there's that. Now we move on to the Momo Hosoda films. The Girl Who Left Her Time, just really great. If I'm coming off as real repetitive, I mean, what more? There's only so many ways you can say that, you know? Summer Wars, I liked this film, but I wouldn't say I liked it as much as most people. Like, there are just certain elements of the film that kind of irked me, but nonetheless, still really good. Wolf Children, easily the director's best film. I know Misfit Pond isn't that huge in this movie, and I can kind of understand why he's not that big into anime. But did you think Surf's Up 2007 is better than Surf's Up 2-Wave Mania? I mean, do I even need to answer that? I think the answer is pretty obvious. I think everyone, 99.9% of people around the world can agree that the first Surf's Up is better than its sequel. Just saying. Yeah. Wolf Children, honestly, I'd say that's the best Mother's Day movie, which there aren't that many great Mother's Day movies out there. Yeah. The Boy and the Beast, again, another great film. Mirai, probably my least favorite of his films, but even then it's still good. I got to see this in theaters, and I don't regret it. Same thing with Belle. And I'll be honest, I think this one is underrated. I think this one's better than most people give it credit for, but again, I probably need to watch it again. I got to see this in theaters. It's probably one of my favorite theater-going experiences, not going to lie. Yeah. Okay, I guess that's it for that stack. So let me just get the next stack. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Okay. Have you seen The Little Polar Bear 1 and 2? No, I haven't. I know what movie you're talking about, but I haven't seen it. So, yeah. Whoop. Okay. Jeez. Stacks are falling. Now on to the Masaki Yuasa films. We have Mind Game. Really trippy, very psychedelic. Really good, though. The Night is Short, Walk on Girl. This might be my favorite film of his, but then again, I think this and Mind Game are the only films of his I've seen. So there's that. Lou Over the Wall. Haven't seen it yet. Looking forward to it. Ride Your Wave. Again, haven't seen it yet, but it looks interesting. Although I heard from reading the plot synopsis, it looks pretty sad. So, Inuo. Again, haven't seen it, but I've heard it's really good. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Magic Roundabout 2005 is better than Dougal 2006. I can't say because I haven't seen either of those films. It just looked awful from what I've heard. So yeah. On to the Satoshi Kon films. Perfect Blue, one of the greatest animated films of all time and one of my personal favorites. Really dark, horrifying. It's great. And a lot of people say Black Swan ripped off this film. I wouldn't say it ripped off. It may have been inspired, but they are two separate films. Although, as much as I love Black Swan, this is better. And that's just me saying that, though. Millennium Actress, really great, beautiful, sad, tragic, but that's kind of your typical anime film at this point. Tokyo Godfathers, really great, underrated animated Christmas film. If I ever redo my favorite Christmas movies list, because I technically have done that twice now, this film will definitely be up there in the top 10, maybe even top 5. It's so good. Paprika, sadly, Satoshi Kon's final film. And what's even sadder is at the very end of the movie, the main character goes to the movie theater, even though he said earlier he's not a fan of movies, but he goes anyway. You see posters of of Satoshi Kon's previous movies, and then you see a poster of what was going to be his next film, but sadly he passed away before he could make that movie. So, it's sad. Okay, so that's it for the directors. Now, the next several anime films are is the Wild going to appear in Heroes and Villains? Maybe. Um, so yeah. Okay, so now on to the rest of these anime films I have in alphabetical order. They're just random. So we got Akira. Really great, beautiful animation, really violent. It's amazing. Not sure about them making a live action remake though. Angel's Egg. This is a bootleg Blu-ray because this movie doesn't. I mean, I guess it does have a Blu-ray, but it's a Japanese Blu-ray and it's really hard to find. Although I guess G Kids is going to be distributing this film sometime soon, which means they'll probably give it a actual release. So I hope so because this is really good. You haven't seen Angry Birds movies 1 and 2? No, I haven't. I've never really cared to see those. Maybe I will. Who knows? Barefoot Gen 1 and 2. The bombing of Hiroshima through the eyes of a young boy. Very dark. One of the darkest animated films ever. But then again, it's based on an actual point in history. So, of course, it's going to be really dark. Okay. Batman Ninja. I still haven't seen this yet. I hear it's not that good, but the animation style looks really unique. I'm not going to lie. It looks like an interesting film. I heard the sequel they just released, what is it, like Batman Yakuza or whatever it's called, I heard is much better. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to watch it sometime. Is the Ice Age saga going to be... I'd say so. Belladonna of Sadness. An anime film that was lost for a long time, but then was rediscovered and put out. It was, restored. Really dark. This is not an anime film made for the typical anime viewer. It's very out there. But I thought it was really great. The four Bleach films collection. I've only started watching Bleach not that long ago, but I figured I'd get these films anyway, so I could watch them alongside the show. So yeah. Blue Giant. Haven't seen this yet. I hear it's really good. It looks good. The animation looks stellar. Can't wait to watch it. Maybe. No offense. I don't mind you asking, but if you want to ask questions, maybe it'd be questions regarding this stream and not Heroes vs. Villains. Just saying. No offense. Just saying. I just thought, And also, I want to keep some things of Heroes vs. Villains a surprise, The Case of Han and Alice. Haven't seen it yet. It looks good, so yeah. Colorful. I may have seen parts of this movie, and from what I could tell, this is a pretty sad, heavy story. But again, that's a lot of anime films are like that. So, The Colors Within. I got this not too long ago. I haven't seen it yet, but it's from the director of A Silent Voice, and that's all I need to know. The Cowboy Bebop movie. I need to get back to watching Cowboy Bebop so I could finally watch this. But yeah, for what I've seen, I am loving Cowboy Bebop. So, Demon Slayer Mugen Train. I haven't even watched Demon Slayer yet, so I need to watch the show before I can get to watching this, or at least the first season. Oh boy. Is Legend of Spyro going to appear? I don't know much about Spyro. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for this stack. Let me go get the next stack. BRB. All right. Okay. It's all right. Again, to Anita Bailey. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind you, but it's like if you want to ask something, if you could keep it relevant to the stream. I don't want to give too much away regarding Heroes of Villains. I want to keep some things a surprise. But anyway. Next, we have Evangelion 1, Evangelion 2, and Evangelion 3. Yeah, this is the those rebuild films, the trilogy. These are the Japanese Blu-rays, because I guess the American Blu-rays are out of print. So, and then I have Evangelion 3+1, Thrice Upon a Time. Haven't seen any of these movies. I've been meaning to get into Evangelion, but I hear they're really good. I was kind of hoping that eventually G Kids will release these 3 films in the collection, so I wouldn't have these because these kind of don't fit in my shelf very well. So, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, but this one especially I hear is really good. So, the first Slam Dunk. I haven't seen the show yet, so that's why I haven't watched this yet. But I've heard really good things, especially considering Chris Stuckman had this on his #1 favorite films of 2023. I think his the list. But yeah. Fortune favors Lady Nick Kuko. Don't know much of this one. I've heard it's okay. So, Ghost in the Shell. Love this movie. One of my favorite animated sci-fi movies. Really great. Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence. Haven't seen it yet. Looking forward to though. Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex Solid State Society. I think this is like the finale to the show Standalone Complex. So yeah. Giovanni's Island. As far as I know, this has nothing to do with Pokemon, but but I've heard this film's pretty good. So yeah, watch that. Goodbye, Don Glees. I don't know. Haven't seen it. In This Corner of the World, a really good, kind of long, but very powerful animated war film. Now, I've heard they did release an extended cut of this film in 2018, I think, but they never released a physical copy of that, so who knows. We have the Inuyasha films. I just got these because I have the show. We'll get to that in a little bit, but I just have the movie, so yeah, figure I'd get that. Jinro the Wolf Brigade. I thought Mamoru Hosoda directed this film, but I guess he was like the producer or something. So, yeah, from the creators of Ghost in the Shell. From the bits I've seen of this movie, really dark, violent, but it looks amazing. So, Josie, the Tiger and the Fish. Been meaning to check this film out, especially given the recent controversy surrounding this movie on Twitter. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Shuon Head did a video about the controversy on her video about the average male fantasy. You'll check that out. But I've heard this film's really good. It looks wholesome and sweet, so yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I haven't even watched the show yet, but I got this because I've been needing to, so yeah. Letter to Momo. Haven't watched yet. Heard it's really good. Liz and the Bluebird, haven't watched yet, but I think this is like a spin-off film to the anime Sound Euphonium, but I've heard you don't necessarily have to watch the show to watch this, as it works as a standalone movie, so who knows. Lupin the Third, The Castle of Cagliostro, Hayao Miyazaki's first movie ever. Love this film. It definitely is a Miyazaki film, you can tell. It's crazy to think his first movie was a Lupin the Third film, but then again, Mamoru Hosoda directed a One Piece movie, so there's that. Lupin the Third, the First. Haven't watched this yet, but I've heard it's really good. So, the Made in the Abyss films. I need to watch Made in the Abyss, so I haven't watched these yet, obviously. So, Maquia, When the Promised Flower Blooms. Again, haven't seen this yet, but it's one of those movies I think I need to be emotionally prepared to watch because I hear this is one of those tearjerker movies. So yeah. That's that set. Let me go get the next one. All right. Love Ghost in the Shell standalone. Yeah, I haven't watched standalone complex yet. I've been meaning to, so yeah, someday. Anyway, Marrying the Witch's Flower. This is apparently the first film by Studio Ponic. Haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's okay. Metropolis, not to be confused with the Friends Lane movie, although I guess it has similar themes to that film. Miss Hokasei, haven't watched yet. Been meaning to. Napping Princess. I've had this one for a long time, and I still haven't watched it yet, so. Night on the Galactic Railroad. I've been curious about this one for a while. Apparently, it's based on a beloved children's book over in Japan, so. Yep. Ninja Scroll. I've talked about this film and my favorite films in 1990. You could go look at that. Really great, very violent, but yeah. Panda Go Panda. Apparently, this was made by Isao Takahata, the same director of Grave of the Fireflies and Only Yesterday, and a few other Ghibli films. Padma Inverted. Don't know much about this one. But Penguin Highway. Another animated penguin movie, but I've heard this one's really good, so yeah. Pompo the Cinephile. Haven't watched that. Looking forward to it. Pope Hell of Chimney Town? I don't know. It looks interesting. At least visually, it looks interesting. Promare. Again, visually looks striking. So, oh yeah, it's made by Trigger, so that explains why the animation looks the way it does. Redline. Love Redline. Really stylized anime. Love this movie. So, yeah. The Sea Prince and the Fire Child. This is a very vintage, early 80s anime film. I saw this on YouTube originally a long time ago. Also, I think this Blu-ray is out of print. It's really hard to find, so yeah. It's basically a Romeo and Juliet type story, so yeah. A Silent Voice. A very powerful, very emotionally type film. And I would recommend it, but you got to be emotionally prepared what you're getting into, so yeah. Love this movie. Wish I saw it in theaters when it came out. The Sky Crawlers. I believe this was by Mamoru Oshii. I hear it's not one of his better films, but people say it's still pretty good, so yeah. Sound Euphonium, the movie Our Promise, A Brand New Day. Like I said, I haven't seen the anime, so I probably should watch that before watching this, so the animation looks beautiful, so. Tikkun Concrete. This looks really insane from the few clips of this film I have seen, so. The Tibetan Dog. Don't know much about this one. I just got this as a Christmas present from a relative. The Tunnel to Summer, The Exit of Goodbyes. I've heard this didn't get the best reviews, but apparently Chris Stuckman liked it, so there's that. I don't know if that's anything to go by. Trigun Badlands Rumble. I watched a bit of Trigun. I've been meaning to get back to that show so I could finally watch this movie. So, yeah. Vampa Hunter D, a pretty solid vampire anime film from the 80s. So there's that. That's it for this stack. Let me just get the next one. We're almost done with the anime films. Okay, only a couple more anime films left. Vampa Hunter D Bloodlust. I'm pretty sure most of those Hero Fest villains rounds are still on, unless I guess they're blocked for you. I don't know. But anyway, Vampa Hunter D Bloodlust. I've already talked about this film on my favorite films of the year 2000. Really great movie. I hear there's another Vampa Hunter D movie in the making, so looking forward to that if that's the case. Then we got Violet Evergarden, Eternity in the Auto Memory Doll, and Violet Evergarden the movie. Haven't watched Violet Evergarden yet, but I'm looking forward to it. This is one of those animes that's been on the top of my watch list. And yeah, that's it for the anime films. Now let's move on to the anime shows. So yeah, now we're finally getting to the animated shows I own. Starting with the anime. Got 91 Days. I've heard this is a pretty solid anime, so looking forward to that. Excuse me. Attack on Titan Season 1 Part 1 and Part 2. I'm debating whether I should get the other Attack on Titan seasons. I'm waiting to see if they'll release like a box set of the entire show together. But we'll see. Berserk. Pretty violent anime from the few clips I've seen, but apparently it's really good. Black Clover Season 1 Part 1. I don't even remember why I got this. I mean, I've heard the anime is good, but I don't remember why I got this since I don't have the other seasons yet. Okay, we got Bleach Set 1, Set 2, and Set 3. Those are the only sets I have at the moment. I need to get more. I've only seen Season 1, and for what I've seen so far, I'm already enjoying, so I can't wait to watch the rest of that. Call of the Night. I actually got this for really cheap. It was at Best Buy for like $14.99. And if you're wondering, yes, it was the last Black Friday for Best Buy before they would get rid of their physical media. And I still will not forgive them for that because now I have almost no reason to go to Best Buy except for something about computers and stuff. I don't know. But yeah. yeah. Kazhan. This is a pretty old anime show from the 70s, so I don't know. Interested to see what that one's about. Clannad, the complete collection. I've been meaning to check this out, but again, I need to be emotionally prepared because I heard it's another one of those really big tearjerker animes. Cowboy Bebop, the complete collection. I need to get back to the show because I've heard from what I've seen so far, it's really good. Death Note. From the few episodes I've seen, I'm intrigued. So, Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. This is only season 1, part 1. They have announced part 2 will get its release in a couple months, I think. So once part 2 comes out and I get that, I'll finally binge watch this. So then we got have you heard of Persona 5? I've heard of Persona in general. Never played the games or watched in the anime, so I don't know. I'm not too familiar with Persona. Yes, I'm aware of that. I'm aware in the UK, The Wild is considered a 4/6 film in the Disney lineup for some reason. I don't know. I used to like The Wild as a kid, but looking back, I have to admit it's not really very good. But anyway, Fullmetal Alchemist, the original 2003 series. I watched, I think, most of this, but I never got around finishing it, so yeah. And then I got part 1 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. So there's that. Okay, that's it for this stack. Let me get the next row. Hold on a minute. Okay, is the first open season better than the sequels? Yeah, and that's not saying much because even the first open season sucked. Okay, part 2 of Brotherhood. So yeah, I'm glad I own these because apparently these are really hard to find. Future Boy Conan. This was one of the earliest things Hayao Miyazaki made before Studio Ghibli. So yeah, can't wait to check this out. Okay. Anyway, okay, so we have Ghost in the Shell Stand Complex Season 1 and Season 2. Like I said, I haven't watched these yet, but I've been meaning to because I heard they're really good, so... Okay, so now we have a bunch of Inuyasha. We got Set 1, Set 2, Set 3, Set 4, Set 5, Set 6, and we got the final act, which unfortunately I wasn't able to get with the slipcover. I did watch a little bit of Inuyasha back in the day, but I don't remember too much. I remember, I think it was at a friend's house. I think it was it Toonami? I think it was on. I don't know. Did Toonami show in Inuyasha? I don't remember, but it was somewhere. And from what little I remember being pretty good. So yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1 Part 1 and Part 2. Need to get the other seasons. Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken. I have watched this whole thing already. Really fun, very quirky about these like high school girls that want to make their own anime and the shenanigans they get into. So it's a lot of fun. Kids on the Slope. Haven't watched it yet, but it's from the same guy behind Cowboy Bebop, so that has me intrigued. Spider. Well, I'll be honest. Sony. Look, I don't have a hatred for Sony compared to Animat, but I just find most Sony films to be either just mediocre, okay, or just really... Like, I find them to be either okay, like Hotel Transylvania, or really bad, like The Emoji Movie or The Star or Surf's Up 2. I don't know. It just most of their films I just think are just fine or average. There's a few I do generally like the ones I just showed y'all. So, yeah. Made in Abyss Season 1. and season 2. Need to watch. I need to watch both those shows. Yeah, from what I've heard, I've heard Brotherhood is better than the original Full Alchemist, but I can see why some people would like them both equally. So yeah. Megalobox season 1. Again, I haven't watched this. I'm glad I picked this up because I think this might be hard to find now. I'm not sure. And then we got Nana, the complete collection. Again, I haven't watched this yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, BRB. We're almost done with the anime section. Okay, this is the last of the anime that I have, so, or at least in terms of in this shelf. So yeah, we got Neon Genesis Evangelion, which I think this comes with the 2 original movies. So there's that. One Punch Man season 1 and season 2, and apparently we're finally getting a season 3. So yeah. Say I Love You. One of the few anime shows I have watched completely, and I remember really liking it. And I guess it's because I find myself relating to the main character so much. Pretty solid high school romance story. Not like amazing, but I thought it was pretty decent. Soul Eater, the complete series. Haven't seen it yet. Well, actually, I've seen bits of it with my brother, so there's that. Steins Gate. I've watched a good chunk of this, and from what I've seen, I've really liked. So, Violet Evergarden, the complete series. Again, I need to get around watching this, but I got to be emotionally prepared for that. Same thing with this last anime show I have, Wolf's Rain, the complete series. Again, I've heard this is really good, but really intense. Now, let me get the next section. Okay, next we go to the animated shows that aren't anime, the more Western animated shows. We got Adventures of the Gummy Bears. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I have a Blu-ray of this? Well, this is a bootleg Blu-ray, as you can clearly see. I got it off of the the Monsterland Media website. They make Blu-rays for a lot of shows, especially animated shows, that do not have a proper physical release. So this is the complete series. So honestly, it's because there's a lot of classic shows from my childhood I would love to have a physical release of, but mainstream companies like Disney will not release it. So there's that. So yeah. Is the 2023 Mario movie any good? I thought it was solid. Like, not perfect, but it's certainly better than the live action movie with Bob Hoskins. Arcane season 1. Believe it or not, I still have not watched this show. I need to, but I'm looking forward to it. And Geek just the other day announced season 2 will be getting its release sometime soon. So once season 2 gets out and I get that, I'll definitely binge watch this. So Archer season 1, the only season I have at the moment. Avatar: Last Airbender. As many of you know, my favorite show of all time, not just animated, but I need to revisit this show, especially considering this year is the 20th anniversary. So yeah. Batman the Animated Series. Really loved the show back then. I can't wait to revisit it. So yeah. And of course, Mask of the Phantasm is a great movie. Easily my favorite Batman movie. I would say the Mario movie is one of Illumination's better films between that and the first Despicable Me. So, yeah. But then again, I'm not even huge on Illumination, so there's that. Batman Beyond. Again, I liked the show back then. Not as good as the animated series, but still good. Here's another bootleg. Bonkers, the complete series. I actually got this off eBay. Not one of the better Disney afternoon shows, but it was okay. Castlevania season 1. I need to get the other seasons, and hopefully I can find season 1 with its slipcover. So, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, the complete series. This is an official Blu-ray by Disney. They'll release this on physical media, but they won't do many of their other shows, which I think is stupid. I mean, granted, I don't know. There's only a few of these they've released, so there's a lot of shows they made I wish they would put out physically. So yeah. I think they only released that is because of that movie that came out a couple years ago. So yeah. Which Illumination movie you didn't like? Honestly, I'm not a fan of most Illumination films. I think the ones I did like is the first Despicable Me, the Mario Brothers movie. I thought the second Despicable Me was okay. And that's pretty much it. I mean, to be fair, I did not like the Lorax. I didn't like Hop. I didn't like Minions. So yeah. Yeah. Duck Dodgers, the complete series. This is just childhood right there. Childhood right there. Genlock season 1. I haven't finished it yet. From the episodes I've seen, I thought it was. I think it's decent, but I heard season 2 is trash. At least that's what I've been told. Season 2 is not very good. So, Green Lantern, the animated series. Pretty underrated superhero show. Speaking of superhero shows, Justice League season 1, season 2, and then Justice League Unlimited. I really need to revisit these shows because I remember these being really, really good. Is the Grinch 2000 better than the 2018 Grinch? Honestly, they're kind of on par with it. I think in a way, the 2018 Grinch, I think tries to capture the heart better than the 2000 Grinch, but in terms of which Grinch is better, I'd say the 2000 is a little better. But then both films are just, at best, just mediocre. Honestly, I just stick to the original Grinch, Primal season 1 and season 2. I've watched season 1, love this show to death. Have not watched season 2 yet. I need to, and I can't wait for season 3. Okay, let me grab the next stack. There's a 4th season of Primal coming out. They haven't even released season 3 yet. Okay. Either way. Anyway, anyway. Hold on, let me get more water to drink. Oh, 7 people, but not really. Only like 3 of them actually spoke in the chat. All right. Rick and Morty, season 1, season 2, season 3, and season 4. That's all the seasons I have at the moment. But then again, I heard the recent seasons haven't been that great. Ruby, volumes 1 through 6, volume 7, and volume 8. I'm not sure if they released volume 9 yet. I haven't watched most of Ruby. I've seen the first 3 volumes. Haven't continued it after that. Velma 20. I haven't watched Velma, but I heard, from what I've seen, yeah, it is terrible. Speaking of Velma, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? The complete series. Classic cartoon from my childhood, even though I mostly watched What's New Scooby-Doo as a kid, so there's that. South Park season 1 through 5, and seasons 6 through 10. I need to get the rest of them if I can find them. I've watched a handful of South Park. It's a pretty funny show. It's not for everyone, but, Teen Titans, the complete collection. Loved that show as a kid. Thundercats, the 2011 show. Pretty good from what I remember. The Wingfeather Saga. Haven't watched this yet, but it looks interesting, and the reason it piqued my interest is that Angel Studios distributed this, which is a faith-based Christian studio, so that kind of has me interested in what the show's like, especially given the amount of positive reviews the show has. Including South. I mentioned earlier, I still haven't watched Bigger Lawn Uncut yet, but, Anyway, Young Justice season 1, Young Justice season 1, season 2, and season 3. I don't know if they released season 4 yet. I don't think they have. And that's it for the animated shows I have on that shelf. We're almost done. Just have a few more sections to go. All right. Yeah, I think that goes without saying the original Teen Titans is better than Teen Titans Go. Anyway. Now we have the animated shorts. These are short collections I own. You got the original Christmas classics by Rankin Bass. Always fun to watch around the holidays. Speaking of holidays, the Peanuts Holiday Collection. I find it weird, though, they call this a holiday collection, and yet there's other holiday specials they didn't put on here. The Valentine's Day special, the Easter special, New Year's, and so on. Is Go Animate. I'm not familiar with Go Animate. I'm not sure about that one. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Ultimate Edition. Yeah, this also comes with Halloween is Grinch Night, The Grinch Grinches the Cat in the Hat. Loved this as a kid. I still love it to watch, though. Looney Tunes Collector's Edition Volume 1 and Volume 2. I still need to get 3 and 4. Like I say, I love the Looney Tunes. How can you not love the Looney Tunes? Then we have some Mickey cartoons, Volume 1 and Volume 2. I don't know if there'll release more of these because there's a lot of Disney shorts that should get the Blu-ray treatment. I mean, I guess I always try to track down those DVD sets they did, but those are really hard to find. Mickey's Christmas Carol. This is what I think for some of us, this was our introduction to the Christmas Carol story, and this is still a really good short. Now we have Tex Avery Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. I don't think this is all the Tex Avery cartoons. I think there's some they're missing, but whatever. I'm just glad I finally own these. I used to love watching this when they come on Boomerang, and yeah, they are hilarious. So definitely cartoons that would not fly well today, if you know what I mean. The Wallace and Gromit Complete Collection. These are all the shorts. So yeah. And then we have the Walt Disney Short Films Collection. And now we are just about done. There's just a couple more things I have to show for this section. So hold on a second. All right. Yeah. Last part of the set. Pooh's. If you're talking about those YouTube series people do about the Pooh's Adventures, yeah, they're strange. I don't get them. But anyway, last portion. This is just the stuff I have on top of my spinning tower that just don't fit in the shelf. We got Cards and Saloons, Irish Folklore Trilogy, Secret of Kells, Song of the Sea, and Wolfwalkers. Love these movies to death, especially Wolfwalkers. I'm still annoyed they would not release Wolfwalkers as its own standalone Blu-ray, so that's stupid. Samurai Jack, the complete collection. Like I say, love Samurai Jack. Love the show. Glad I have this box set. Gravity Falls, the complete collection. Easily Disney's best show ever. Right up there with Gargoyles. The Snoopy collection. These are basically the theatrical release Peanuts movies, which are A Boy Named Charlie Brown, Race for Your Life Charlie Brown, Snoopy Come Home, and Bon Voyage Charlie Brown, and Don't Come Back. I think I've seen Race for Your Life Charlie Brown a long time ago, but yeah, can't wait to revisit those films. Then we got Red vs. Blue, seasons 1 through 10. Don't know if they'll re-release Red vs. Blue as a complete set now that the show's over, but I'm glad I own this anyway because this is a really hard set to come across. Next, let's see if I can reach over here for a second because I have some behind my laptop. Okay, I know I already have Belle, but I did get this. This is the 4K collector's edition. I don't know, it looked really cool. I thought I'd get it because I really like this film, so thought it'd be cool to have that. Then we got Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, I know I had the other Blu-ray, but I got this limited edition 25th anniversary edition. This is just such a cool looking set. I thought I would have it. Let's see if I can grab this. Dragon Ball Z, the complete collection. Yeah, I did watch a bit of Dragon Ball back in the day, so I'm definitely looking forward to revisiting the show from the beginning. I do own the original Dragon Ball show, but it's on DVD and it's in another collection, so good to have Dragon Ball Z. Yes, I know you're waiting for Heroes vs. Villains part 2, round 2. Everyone is waiting for that. I know, it's my fault. I know, it's just life is hectic. Then we got Hunter x Hunter, the 2011 show. Can't wait to check that out. And then I got Yu Yu Hakusho, the complete set. Yes, I do plan to make a live-action trailer. Don't worry. Have you ever watched Silver Wing? Not yet. I think I know what you're talking about, but I haven't watched it. And the last thing I have to show you is this. The DC 10th anniversary collection. This is the first 30 movies in the set. I've only seen a handful of those movies. But then I also have these two. Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay, The Death of Superman, Reign of the Supermen, and Justice League vs. the Fatal Five. I haven't gotten any of the ones since then because I've heard a lot of them since then have not been that great. Well, I heard Batman: The Long Halloween is really good. Also, I have this Constantine: City of Demons, the movie. So technically, it was like a mini series, but then they turned it into a movie. So yeah. Okay, and that's everything. That's my animation station. Those are all the animated movies and shows I have on Blu-ray. As you can tell, I have a lot. There's quite a lot I still have yet to watch, but I need to get around to it. Um, yeah, I gotta be honest. This first stream didn't turn out quite as I was hoping because I think so far only 3 people have actually commented in the chat. So, I mean, to be fair, this is only my first live stream, so hopefully, more people. Maybe when I do another live stream, especially since I do plan to do the rest of my collection. Hopefully we'll get more people next time. I think next time what we'll do is we'll do kind of a miscellaneous thing where we'll do just random sections because I have stuff like behind me and stuff just kind of on top of furniture. And maybe we could do the TV Blu-rays next. That could be cool. But yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this. This is just something new. I never done a live stream before. Again, hopefully next time I'll not have any technical problems like I did earlier. Unfortunately, I guess because my corner of that room is not very good. So, yeah. When we do part 2 of this collection, hopefully I'll be better prepared. Also, I do have an announcement I need to make on my channel because for a big upcoming project I want to do. Hopefully I'll get that video out soon. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. The video. I will re-upload this as a standalone video, but I'm gonna have to cut out, edit some stuff out, so it could be a little while. So, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. It's been great talking to the, I guess, 3 people that joined this chat. Again, I hope next time we'll have more people show up, especially with an upcoming project I'd love to do. So, but again, I'll talk about that in a video in the future. So yeah, this is CK Prime 7, and I hope you all have an awesome rest of the day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Later.